everybody. I want to welcome you back to
The Party Line. I'm your girl, ZZZJ.
And I'm Lala.
So, today we decided to talk about the fight to your full potential. And I feel like this whole year has been a fight to keep that momentum going, to even keep yourself motivated. But it's like, when it comes to the fear of success and the fear of failure, of starting a new project, or even just asking somebody out, or just anything, I feel like this is such a milestone that a lot of people can get stuck with, either the success or the fear aspect. You know?
For sure. Yeah.
So I don't know if you're one of those people, Lala, but it just had me thinking, like, how far I've come as a person, because I've definitely played on both sides of the fence when it comes to fearing failure and fearing success. What about you?
1000% concur with you. I think that's pretty much like a lot of my story. Just being afraid to be Lala, like, on turbo. You know, like, who is she? What is she about? You know, it's like, just, you know, we always have, like, this idea of ourselves in our mind, and then it's like, you know, are you, like, what is, like, you at, like, your full potential? Could be a little scary, or, you know, you might just feel like you're not ready for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
100%.
Either way, you hold back a little bit, which is, you know, something you spend time trying to overcome.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's crazy because, okay, so I'm gonna just lay out both definitions here, just so we have a bit of an idea of the difference between the two. So I would say the fear of success is the fear of maintaining or what life's gonna look like. You know, what is the possibilities of how my life is going to change if I succeed. So it's kind of almost like a mirror image of fearing change. And then the fear of failure is somewhat of an irrational fear, as we would say. It kind of stops you from reaching your fullest potential, but it is the fear. Where did I lose my spot just now? Sorry. So the fear of success, or the fear of failure, is you are so afraid of failing that you have actually sabotaged your efforts of even trying.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you've already put yourself down before you even started.
Yeah, it's kind of like you fill your morale with, like, negative things that, like, haven't even happened yet, or like put negative things in your mind, and it hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah.
You know, I've definitely had, like, a fear of failure and success, and, you know, I think when you are that person, like, we all spend kind of our entire lives, like, trying to get to know ourselves, and your potential grows and your potential changes, and and that's with your opportunities, right? Opportunities come, they go, and they change from time to time, and so do you.
Yes.
And it's like, how do you navigate keeping up with, you know, your surroundings, your people, your family, and, like, also staying true to your personal goals, your success, your failures, and everything like that, when there's so many other things also happening around you at all times, you know?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if anyone listening, or even you, have thought about what would it look like if I were to succeed in the job that I was, where I became like a Tony Robinson kind of guy, or like a big time superstar, like even like the royals, or like Harry and like Meghan Markle. It's like you are on a pedestal to be judged, for people to start talking about you, you know, and the worry of the attention that comes with this success, and how your family and your friends even might treat you, or even the change in dynamic there and the time spent with them. Or a lot of people say, you know, more money, more problems, the amount of money. But I think it's also the fear of being able to maintain that title. I feel like that becomes this fear of getting knocked all the way back down, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like one of the most scariest things, you know?
I think for me, like, one of the scariest things when I try to quantify my success in terms of, like, outside environment, and I think sometimes it does happen, but it's like, how many people are going to try to claim a stake in your success?
Yes.
You know,
100%.
How many people are going to look back and try and say, oh, she wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for me, or if she wouldn't be doing this if I didn't give her this idea, or, you know, and that forth. So it's like, one of my things is like, when I think about my journey to success, I think about, am I doing things to build my success? Is it a personal thing, or is it like a communal based thing? And I think sometimes when you have successful stories, like, people always look back and say, you know, I owe this to this, and this, right? But that's for you to give the shout outs.
Yes.
The thing that I have an issue with is, like, literally there are, like, and it happens, I've seen it happen to so many people, where it's like, you know, one person, like, makes it out the hood, and just because we used to buy milk together, all of a sudden you have a claim in my success. Like, how?
Yeah.
You know?
People are always trying to steal credit where credit is not due. It's just like, no, if you're not along beside me, like my A1 day ones or my family, it's like, you won't be one of the first people I shout out. But there are people, like, you know, like, that have helped you and assisted you along the way. But you're totally right. It's up to you to recognize that and give that person recognition for how they helped you. But there's always going to be those naysayers, those people who feel sour about your success. You know, that jealousy, the evil eyes. I always worry about the evil eyes that come out of freaking rocks and nooks and crannies then talking shit. Like, that's a part of, I feel like those are the type of people that would say that, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, most of the people who do say that are, like, the people who ain't doing shit anyway, because if everyone was focused on their own success, you wouldn't be watching someone else's.
Yeah.
And I also think, like, say, for example, you did help someone. You don't need to, like, really talk about it. You know what I mean? But I noticed, like, on a lot of reality TV shows, like, you know, when they do, like, the reunions and they're all, like, fighting, and they're like, you know, you wouldn't be on this show if it wasn't for me. If you weren't having coffee with me, you wouldn't even be on this show. Yeah. So you're welcome. I gave you a bag.
But it's funny because you can look at them and be like, but honey, boo-boo, we are sitting in the same place. I am here and you are here. So, yes, I thank you, but we're still on the same level. So don't try and knock me down just because you're feeling a little insecure.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's keep it real and straight, you know? But,
big fact.
Sorry?
No, that's big fact.
Right?
Real.
Yeah. I don't know why people always have to turn some positive things into negative, but I feel like that's also a part of the fear is having to deal with conflict later on, and people coming up and being like, yo, so now that you made it, like, are you going to give me that $20 that you owe me now? Are you going to give me that investment that I gave you how many years ago, like a couple of grand and all this stuff? Because you look at even George Clooney, what he did, remember? Like, did you hear about that?
When he gave all his friends $1 million?
Yeah, $1 million. And then people are starting to talk shit about, like, oh, that's all he's doing is only giving his people $1 million. Hey, it's better than fucking nothing, and it's better than just a thank you. Waving, like, thanks for the recognition. Like, I gave you that recognition. He's actually putting money in your bank. I appreciate you. And that was probably with interest when you think about the times. You know?
No, I think he was just looking out for his people. I think, I mean, I don't know the full story.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you are very successful, you come with the entourage. with you, celebrating success alone is not even as fun as it would be
with all your people.
Doing it with people
Yeah.
and sharing your success with people.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of successful people who are alone and they have no one to share their success with. So I think, you know, when you do have success, it's definitely, and I would encourage everyone, celebrate your success with other people, but celebrate it in a very humble way.
Stay humble.
In a very humble way. And you're just, you know, you made it. Like, you know, like it's a milestone. You should be happy. And you share those happy moments, especially with the people who knew you when you weren't in those happy moments.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But you brought up something like being humble. You know, I feel like that's also another fear with success is when you're worried about how this success will change you as a person. Will it make you more greedy? Will it make you more obsessive? Will, you know what I mean? Like, will it make you turn into someone that you never saw yourself becoming?
The thing with humility is that humility, I honestly believe it's a personal trait and a characteristic, and it also comes down to what people value. Mm-hmm. You know, what are your values? Because to be honest with you, I love like having really amazing things. You know, like you know, in terms of like the materialistic world, mm-hmm. like I love nice things. Yeah. I love things that are beautiful. I love things that are expensive. But I don't value them to the point where it consumes me and like who I am morally.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like I have it, I have it. If I don't, I don't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Do I want it? Hell freaking yeah.
If I had the money to buy it, would I fucking buy it? Hell fucking yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like at the end of the day, is it something that I value? No, because I wasn't raised to value money and like, you know, material things, because trust me, all those things are a blessing, you know, and mm-hmm. if it's gone, it's gone, and what are you going to do after, you know?
Yeah, 100%. But I want to dive a little bit deeper into this so that people can kind of identify if they are one of those people that fear success.
Yeah.
So I looked it up online, and I found an article on Healthline. It's by a lady named Anne. What does that say? Pietrangelo. Pietrangelo. That's how you say her name. But she states that what does fear of success look like? So she gives us a couple of points. Fearing consequences of success can manifest into subtle and obvious ways, such as low goals. That's one. You set the bar low to keep yourself from being challenged, which is kind of, how do you have fun? But
yeah.
But I get it. It's a fear. It's an irrational fear where you're just like, you know, if I give myself like this, I can still give myself a high five at the end of the day, but you're not really challenging yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my biggest one that I used to be. Well, I still have a bit of it, but procrastination. You stall just enough to let opportunities pass. Just pass you by. And I feel like a lot of us do this. We're guilty of procrastination. It's like, you know, if I take long enough, maybe it'll be like, well, I didn't try it, so like what? So like what? You can't come at me. You can't talk to me about the fact that I didn't do it. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna leave that one for last because I have something to talk about, but we're gonna skip to the next one, which is quitting. So just when you're on the verge of success, you find a reason to bail. You find a reason to quit. And I find there's a lot of people who do this. Even if it's in a conversation, when people try and challenge you emotionally too sometimes, I find that I used to be like this in ways where I'm like, you know, I don't like to show my emotions too much, but someone will like pick up on, okay, Z, let's go deeper. You brought